I would like to welcome you to MakerAnimation.com, and today we will be taking a look at Blender 2.5 interface. Okay, first thing I want to explain is that you'll probably want to get one of these 3-button mice that's for sale at any store. It's the one with the little scroll wheel so you can zoom in and out with it. It'll just make the use of Blender a lot easier. Okay, next thing we want to talk about is navigating our 3D space. So first thing you want to do is this little middle mouse button. If you click it, hold it, and move it around, that will orbit your scene. Okay, just like so. Okay, next thing you can do is if you hold Shift and then hold down the middle mouse button again, now you can move it back and forth. This is called panning your view. Okay, and last but not least, if you hold down Control and the middle mouse button again, you can zoom in and out. Another way to zoom in and out would be to use the middle mouse button and scroll the wheel back off. This will also zoom in and out. Okay, now there are different shadings in Blender. Right now we're in the solid shading mode. This little sphere, little looking thing down here is how you change it. And you can go to wireframe and it'll show you a wireframe of the same object. Wireframe is just a wave seen through the geometry. Solid is what we were just on, and also textured is a mode that if there was textures applied to this, you'd be able to see it in the viewport, or better yet, in Blender, this is the 3D view. Okay. Now we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna explain this little menu right here. I'm gonna just get down a little bit. This right here is called the outliner. And what the outliner is for is it shows everything that's in our view. So I want to show you really quick. I'll zoom out just a little bit. See, I can select my lamp. If I clicked on the name, there's the lamp. I can click on the camera. It highlights that. The cube highlights that. And generally, you would use the outliner if you had a very large scene and you had a lot in it. And sometimes it can be difficult to see what's on the screen. And it's hard to find sometimes. You can find it over here by selecting this. Okay. Over here, down here, we have the timeline, and pretty much it's a timeline like in any other program. This is where you do your 3D animation and set your keyframes. It has plays, forward, backwards, recordings, all this other stuff that we'll be going over in another tutorial. Okay, user preference header is up here, and it just consists of different drop downs. I'll be going over it in this tutorial, but we'll go over these in another tutorial. Okay. Let's see what else we can talk about. Okay, orthographic and perspective. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate a few of these. I'm not going to go over how to do this in this tutorial. I will go over it in another tutorial. But the reason I'm doing this is just to explain what the difference is between orthographic and perspective. Okay, so right now we're going to change this back into solid. Right now we're in the perspective viewport, and perspective simulates the way we see things in real life, as in objects that are further away would become smaller, objects that are closer to us would appear bigger. Okay, I'm going to just move these back to show you that these do in fact get smaller. Now what the orthographical view does is it removes that illusion of depth. So all objects will appear to be the same size. I'm going to go ahead and show you that right here by clicking here. Now see that? It removes the depth look of the view. A lot of times you'll be working perspective, but there are cases where you want to do that and put in orthographical view. For instance, if you had an interior, sometimes it's difficult to see inside of the interior. That's when you would switch to orthographical view. Okay, just go ahead and change that back. And last but not least, we'll go over how to create a new document. Just a keyboard shortcut, Control N, bring up a little question, say okay, and it returns you back to a new clean slate file. And that's it for today. I would like to thank you for visiting makeanimation.com and look forward to seeing you in later tutorials. Thank you.